Good evening to all. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this August gathering, and especially to Dr. Suresh Kumarji, who was instrumental for bringing my work to you all. So Ayurveda had been doing great since centuries, and in present era, with the patronage and support of our government, and especially in this COVID era, Ayurveda had again re-established its necessity to the world. So it had been there, and it is there not only for non-communicable disease, but for communicable disease. And I believe, as a scholar of science and Ayurveda, that overall Ayurveda is an immunomodulatory science because of its principle is maintaining the health of a healthy and treating the disease one. So I was not surprised at all when we all came to know that Ayurvedic formulations were showing immunomodulation properties. Today, I will be focusing on one more thing, the life-savior properties of Ayurveda. And I have a case report on a disease called pancreatitis, and which is highest in the world from southern state of India. Pancreatitis is termed as incurable, and how Ayurveda can go to curable, that I will narrate. First of all, making you familiar about what is pancreatitis. As the word speaks for itself, it is an inflammatory disorder. But what's special about it? It is progressive in nature. And when there is a pancreatitis, inflammation in the pancreas, it blocks the outflow of the enzymes from it, and it goes to the self-destruction of pancreas by its own enzyme. Broadly, it has been categorized into two forms, acute and chronic pancreatitis. But the word is confusing here because acute, a patient may have 10 attacks, but still it can be acute. But a patient can have only one attack or no attack, but it can be chronic because of the changes in the structural changes in the images. There are many theories about its cause, but nothing is certain. But still, the scientists have established a Tigaro factor, T for toxins, I for idiopathic, G for genetic, A for autoimmune, recurrent, and obstructive factors. But besides that, there are other factors also that, and in toxins, alcohol is considered as the most causative factor. We will discuss about findings what we have in the literature and what have been being seen. But what are the symptoms of pancreatitis? It is important to know. So sudden onset of pain in the upper abdomen radiating to back with nausea, vomiting. These are the features which occur in 90% of cases. But besides, there are backache, weight loss, steatorrhea, and uncontrolled blood sugar are also seen in 10% of cases without having episodic pain attack. Pancreas pain, any abdominal pain, will last for more than 2 days, which is severe in category, which is unbearable and not responding to routine treatments or painkillers can be considered as a pancreatitis, but it should be diagnosed by a gastroenterologist who is not only well versed with the disease of pancreas, but other disorder of gastric system. But the most inclusive diagnostic tool at the moment, which is non-invasive, is MRCP. Besides ERCP, which is diagnostic, which is positive, and treatment also is used in diagnosis. Otherwise, AYUSH, CT scan, blood tests are used for its diagnosis. The treatment of pancreatitis is restricted to management of emergency attacks and then lifelong enzymes with certain dietary restrictions, no fat, no protein, no dairy, etc. Since there is no cause, no cure is available. So treatment is focused only on symptomatic relief. And then, in spite of that, it can't be controlled. We don't have much data from our country, but what data we get from America or Western world, it says that 40% patient of pancreatitis turn into pancreatic cancer, and 90% developed uncontrolled diabetes, or in spite of treatment. Right, there is a mortality, 17%, 30%, and 55% starting from 5 years to 20 years. But when we come to India, The scenario is a little bit different. There is a population-based study which was published in 2004. It reported that the highest incidences of pancreatitis come from southern state of India, where rest of the world has 1 to 27 out of 1 lakh. India has reported 114 to 200 cases out of 1 lakh. The second study, which was carried by a Mumbai-based gastroenterologist, found that alcohol is not the major cause of pancreatitis in India. It is basically mineral deficiency and protein malnutrition. Our findings are very much to that. And the third references which we are showing here, it comes from our own clinic where we have been seeing cases from many years. And what we realized at when we had 100 enrollment, 250 enrollment, 550 enrollment, and now nearly 1200 enrollment, the northern state of India have more cases of pancreatitis than southern state India. It can't be a statement because we don't have any certified survey by the medical agency of India. So here I will not go back what is pancreatitis. I will go back to what I have seen. I born to a family of Ayurvedic physicians. My father was a Ayurvedic Rashastri in Meerut, who used to prepare his own medicine in the treatment of patients following Section 33 EC of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. In 1970s, he started a medicine called Amar using copper, mercury, sulfur, and he processed with Lapha echinata and Clitoria ternacea in lemon juice, and he combined the preparation with the concept of Gandhak Charna. And this medicine, which he prepared, incidentally brought a miracle recovery to a dying patient of pancreatic disease. And I, as a science student, had been observing him. And when I completed my Ayurveda, I found a fascinating work behind his clinical work. And I thought, why not to combine the tools of modern research and traditional practice? And that started with observational research in my practice. Observational research is nothing new. Mendel, the father of genetics, he brought his principles by following the tools of observational research, observation of Newton, observation of Chelmsford, observation of Magnus, observation of Fleming. These are the instrumental for the new invention. So my model of research is observational research, and today I'm going to share my data from January 97 till date. So we have enrolled nearly 1111 cases till January 2021. And here you can see that Kerala, which has 25 cases, but Uttarakhand has 66 cases. Many people say that you are in Uttarakhand, that's why you have more patients. But I argue it is Maharashtra which is showing the 110 number. So here it is not that who is right, who is wrong, but I mean to say the disease which was more considered or more taught as a disease of southern state, it has its root all over the country. And this is the age and gender of the patient, as the disease is Pitta Pradhan. So one can say 19 to 45, the middle age as the highest, and the growing cases are under 11. And this is called genetic pancreatitis, where idiopathy is totally different. And the data between gender, female has less pancreatitis than male part. Pancreatitis is basically acute and chronic, but there are more and more classification. And so far, we have seen 17 types of pancreatitis in clinical practice, with maximum patients are of chronic calcific pancreatitis, and then autoimmune, genetic, etc. And these patients, all who came to us, we cannot make any diagnosis based on Ayurvedic principles alone. I think Acharya Charak has very rightly have used word Priti Sanskar, that a physician of Ayurveda should not only study existing granthas, he should also study all, and then based on the need of that era, they should develop a Priti Sanskar. So we found that pancreas word is not written in Ayurvedic text, but there's an abdomen, Udarro. So why we should not take advantage of the advancement of modern science and combine with the Ayurvedic diagnostics or treatment? So we adopted the modern diagnostics for the diagnosis of pancreatitis. So whoever the patient came to us, they have gone through ultrasound, CT scan, MRCP, blood test, ERCP for the confirmation of diagnosis in the reputed hospital of the country. And here we can see the history, and one can see that nearly 92% patient had the history less than 10 years, only 8% patient had history of more than 8 years, and this is indicative that the more the history year passes, the casualty might have increased in the patient of pancreatitis, so the number is decreasing by the number of years of the history. This is something very interesting findings in our study that which we have published also on international forums and publications, that non-alcoholic, which is on the right side, they are nearly double than the alcoholic one. Veg and non goes hand to hand. Tobacco user have less, non-tobacco have more, and family history, which is considered as genetic, it is also only 5% in comparison to non-family history. So that means there's something wider is missing. And this Ayurvedic treatment we'll talk about after seeing all this. In Ayurvedic treatment protocol, which is based on Amar, as I narrated in the beginning, it brings sustainable and complete relief to migraine patient. It is a 1-year treatment where 3 to 4 mg per kg body weight divided to 3 doses given per day. And then rest of the medicines, Prac 20 is nothing. It is a modified and standardized form of Purnama Mandur, Hingwashtak Churn, Narikil Laman, Rason Pati, Kamduda Ras, Laman Bhaskar Ras, Dhatri Raw, Shivakshar Pajan Churn, and Susheka Ras are used as a co-current medicine, not as a main medicine. Like a patient might have urinitis or Pranamshul, that time that is given Law. And other than that, Ahar Aushad, 3 meals, 3 snacks are given to the patient, divided to 1200 to 1600 calories per day, and the patient is put on complete physical and mental rest following the concept of Jakrit Rog Chikitsa, where Acharya has said that a patient who is suffering with liver disease should have complete mental and physical rest even after getting cured. So we thought that why we should not take the same thing as Jakrit and Pliha. The pancreas lies between Jakrit and Pliha, liver and spleen. So we have adopted that, and it yielded the results to us. So we will discuss about the result at a glance, and again you will see a very interesting column here. Did it start Ayurvedic treatment? The patient who came to Ayurveda, they come with a skeptical mind. So Ayurveda is getting wider acceptance, but still it is under the cover of mysticism. Then it embraces, but even a lay person is meant to accept it. 21 patient came. They took the medicine, but they never started. But when we analyze our data, we write everything. There are 21 deaths from 55% of the West and 98% of the India. We have seen 21 deaths. And in that case, we have categorized in both cases who took treatment only for 2 days, or 5 days, or 7 days. So far, 561 patients have completed 1-year treatment. We will be focused on that, and 241 patients are on treatment at the moment. And when we analyze our data on those who have completed 1-year treatment, so there were 575 cases. They were weight loss, but weight loss was not really weight loss. They were obese, they lost the weight, and when they were less weight, they gained the weight. So Ayurvedic treatment brings normalization or homeostatic of the BMI that we've seen. The other feature is quite interesting to know that the number of attacks has gone down significantly from 1632 in a year, previous year of Ayurvedic start of Ayurvedic treatment, and 110 for a whole year after completing the 1-year treatment. Similarly, emergency hospitalization, which was earlier 839, has come to 26. And seeing the impact, strong impact, significant impact of Ayurvedic treatment, of 1-year Ayurvedic treatment on different types of pancreatitis, this work was discussed in the 50th joint meet of American Pancreatic Association and Japan Pancreas Society in October-November 2019 as a lone non-allopathic person from the world. And Ayurveda also talks about sustainability. Medicine should be easy to take, should be able to cure the disease, should not cause any other disease, and the disease should not come back. So here we have seen the data. The patient who were treated 23 years back, they are still alive, and the data is showing that out of 575 cases, there are 14 cases, nearly 2% cases, who have either relapsed, drop out, and there was the death due to other reason also. So the one thing is there that Ayurvedic medicine was helping, patients are coming, and that had been a practice of Ayurvedic physician. Why Ayurvedic benefit could not reach the masses? Because we never took courage to take this stated efficacy of Ayurveda into mainstream of medicine. And here I come into the picture. I thought that whatever I've acquired from my father, it has to be converted into a universal science. Many people don't agree that person to person, but when we see pancreatitis, we don't know what is the frequency, what is their vicirity, but they are diagnosed by modern diagnostic parameter, and one medicine based on Rasa Shastra is giving this. So first of all, we followed the guidelines of WHO reproducibility. For that, we developed a collaboration program under the guidance of Uttarakhand government, and we took the help of process characterization in partnership with Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, with inorganic physical chemistry. And 3 batches were prepared consequently. And here you can see that these batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, which started from copper and mercury alone, gradually they converted into a complex mineral form, and we can, based on that, we made an identical formula. Now this formula Amar has no metal in the free form. There's no copper, no mercury, no sulfur. What it has, it is a mineral form. So Ayurvedic Shastra has the beauty to convert toxic metal into therapeutic mineral form, and this has been sent for patent. This safety of Rus orgies had been a big question. There are reported cases in medical journals, in newspapers, and other media sources about their toxicity. And here we find the medicine which is prepared using standard protocols. It has no observed adverse effect level in any of the toxic study, whether chronic toxicity or subacute toxicity. So we have ascertained reproducible standards. We have developed safety standards, and then experimental model has also been done to understand efficacy. So modern science has done wonderful things in many aspects, and they were able to create an animal model by giving L-arginine to the rats, and at different doses it was given, and then at different doses this Amar was used to evaluate for its pancreatitis protective properties. And here we see the first ever reference that an Ayurvedic medicine is showing strong pancreatitis protective properties in comparison to a known anti-inflammatory property that is called steroids. Steroid treatment could not be given more than 14 days because of the high mortality, but Ayurvedic medicine was well tolerated, and after 21 days, you can see significant pancreatitis protective properties. Science means skepticism. Science means reproducibility. So we repeated the study again. At this time, we made 2 different doses, and this was established that Amar at the dose of 3 mg to 4 mg per kg body weight brings sustainable pancreatitis protective properties without causing any side effect. So this result of the study had helped us a lot, and we are able to treat more patients. And this has taken us further to start an upcoming randomized controlled clinical trial, because without that, we won't be able to establish proof of efficacy therapy. And for that, there is a committee under Dr. V.M. Katoch, who was the former Secretary, Medical Research Director of Department of Health and Family Welfare, Govt of India, and he was former DG of ICMR. And the SP Medical College, Bikaner, and Trial Committee have gone through this, and we have got ethical clearance to start this randomized controlled trial. And CCRS has also reviewed this work by setting up a high-level committee under Professor H.M. Chundolaji and Dr. Govind Makhoria, this professor of AIDS, New Delhi, M.M. Sharma, and they have all suggested that this result should be further discussed. And very lately, GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, which is in our area, the group of scientists visited us and they saw the clinical efficacy, they saw the transformation. It was an interdisciplinary team of scientists who came to us, and we are going to launch a Mission Nobel Prize program by establishing the therapeutics of copper-based compound. It is very exciting because we know about iron, we know about zinc, but Ayurveda has been talking about metals for ages. So we got this chance to be collaborate, and that's we are doing. And whatever we have done, we have published. I don't know what are the status of these journals, but publication remains publication. It is the first reporting case, and that protects you, and that brings insight. So my research papers are available on ResearchGate, PubMed, and usually more and more references are being created about the therapeutics of metal-based formulation in the treatment of chronic pancreatitis. And whatever I've said, I have put these references. If you wish, you can get the data from your respectable teachers. And with these words, I would like to sum up, because of the scarcity of time and limitation of time, that Ayurveda, which had been a science for years, being advocated for wellness and comfort, I think Ayurveda has much more to do, whether it's a communicable disease or non-communicable disease or dying disease. We have demonstrated the role of Ayurvedic medicine in the treatment of acute leukemia, which is a fatal disease. And again, chronic pancreatitis is a fatal disease in the world which has no cure. And the recent year, the sale of medicines involved with the treatment of pancreatitis has just doubled. From 5,000 crore a year, it has gone to 11,000 crore. So our Ayurvedic fraternity should adopt modern scientific tools, should collaborate wherever we can do, and then we can take Ayurveda at the global level, not as a therapeutic science, not merely on a science of comfort or science of wellness. And once again, I thanks the organizers, all the audience, for listening me patiently. And if there is any question, I would like to reply with the permission of the chair. Thank you very much.